Hi everyone. All right, let's talk about the circulatory system. So the circulatory system consists of three main parts that we need to know. It consists of the heart, the veins, and the arteries. Those are the three important parts. So the heart pumps blood throughout the body. That's the heart's job. It's got to keep the blood moving, and it does that by continually pumping the blood. Now, veins and arteries, their job is to carry the blood that the heart is pumping. Veins carry blood to the heart, so all the veins carry blood to the heart. And then arteries, they carry the blood away from the heart. So remember, arteries start with an A, and away starts with an A. So arteries carry blood away from the heart. Try and keep those two straight, okay? Veins to the heart, arteries away from the heart. So the job of the system itself is to carry oxygen and to move CO2 out of the body. That's what the circulatory system is doing here. So blood is getting its oxygen from the lungs. So as the heart pumps the blood around the body, it's going to be picking up oxygen and delivering it. So here, for example, if you look at this picture right here, blood is going to be leaving the heart, and since it's going away from the heart, it's in an artery. As it is traveling, it's going to deliver the oxygen to a muscle, to an organ, to anything. From there, it's going to pick up some CO2. And then in a vein, it's going to go back to the heart. Now at the moment, this blood in the vein going to the heart has no oxygen. So the heart pumps it to the lungs. Here that CO2 is given away and oxygen, O2, is picked up. That's carried to the heart, and then the heart does the whole thing over again. Now, if we look at our two vessels are arteries and veins. If you look at them, there's small differences between them, right? Arteries have thick outer walls. Look how thick these walls are of the artery in this picture. Arteries have thick walls because they're under high pressure. The blood is constantly pushing its way out of that heart, being pushed really fast. And because it's being pushed so fast, the walls need to be thick to absorb that high pressure of the blood. Now, veins, on the other hand, they have a lot thinner walls, and it's because they're under a lower pressure. They're further away from the heart, so there's less pressure that goes into veins. And because of that low pressure, veins have one extra thing. Veins have these valves. They're one-way valves. That means blood can go in this direction, but it can't go backwards. If it tries to go backwards, the blood is going to close the valve here and prevent it from going any further. These valves ensure that blood does not flow backwards. Alright, so this week we did an exercising lab, and when we did that exercising lab, you guys realized that the heart moves faster when you exercise. And that's because the cells, or the blood cells, are moving oxygen throughout the body faster, since the heart is moving it. So blood cells carry the oxygen to a muscle, to anywhere, and then they're taking out CO2. So as the heart moves blood, it's taking in oxygen and giving away CO2. And when we exercise, this process happens a little faster. The body needs more oxygen because it is now needing more energy, it needs more respiration. And when it does that, the blood needs to move quicker. And the only way that can happen is if the heart beats faster. Now, cramps happen when your muscles aren't getting enough oxygen. That happens occasionally. All right, we've got a few more slides here. This is just, again, one more time. If we want to think about the path of the blood in the body, we leave the heart with oxygen. We give away the oxygen somewhere in the body. It could be a muscle, it could be an organ, it could be anything. After we give away the oxygen, that blood gets CO2. It goes back to the heart. In the heart, it goes to the lungs. In the lungs, it gives away CO2 and takes in oxygen. Then it goes back to the heart, and the heart pumps it to the rest of the body. And it's going to keep doing this pattern. It's going to keep following this path right here. All right. Finally, what we need to talk about are some heart diseases. So, arteriosclerosis is when we have diseased walls. So, in this case, arteries become thicker and harder, easier to break. They're not good at transporting blood anymore. Um, then we also have heart attack and strokes. Now, both a stroke and a heart attack have one big problem. Oh, excuse me, guys. Little bit. That big problem is a clot. A clot is when a piece of fat blocks blood in an artery or vein. We have something in the way. If that something in the way blocks blood from going to the heart, that's a heart attack. The heart gets no more blood and it just freezes. It stops beating. And it's very painful. Now, I'm sure you've seen it in movies. When a heart stops beating, someone will jump on top of them and start pressing their chest down. It's called chest compression, so CPR. And what they're doing is they're trying to get the heart to pump blood. They're essentially manually pumping the blood through the body. Stroke, completely different. There's no CPR for stroke. Stroke is when there's not enough blood getting to the brain. That means parts of the brain are dying because the brain needs oxygen, just like any part of the body. So a stroke is when the blood blocks blood from going to a part of the brain. All right, so that's all you need to know when it comes to the circulatory system. I hope that helped. And good luck on the quiz. Bye, everybody.